Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Alier Latifa.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Alier. Ma'am, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations: one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony; one count of disorderly conduct with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument; one count of discharging a firearm in city limits. Those are both Class 6 felonies; one count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. Your case will be heard at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. You have a status conference October 29th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing October 31st, 8:31 a.m. Ms. Alier, I am setting a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $25,000. Secured appearance means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $25,000 would be $2,500. If you pay that bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You'll have an ankle monitor installed, and you must comply with pretrial services supervision. In addition, you must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're not to possess any weapons. You must find an alternative residence, provide proof of the same to the court, and you must obey the terms of any order of protection or injunction against harassment that has been issued or which may be issued. You must submit to DNA testing at the arresting police department. You may have no contact with the alleged victim for any reason, even if he contacts you first, and you may not reside at the same location as an alleged victim, even if you are an owner or a renter of the residence. You're entitled to one civil standby. That's where you contact local law enforcement, schedule a time to meet an officer who will escort you to the residence so that you can obtain your essential belongings. Ms. Alier, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Jamal Williams and then Isaiah Murphy will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Jamal Michael Williams, 3.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, you're here on a Navajo County Superior Court warrant. Charge of one count of possession and use of narcotic drugs. It's a Class 4 felony. One count of driving with your license suspended, revoked, or canceled, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney for limited representation regarding the bond issue only. You'll have an arraignment hearing at the Navajo County Superior Courthouse October 30th at 8:30 a.m. I'm affirming the bond in the warrant. It is in the amount of $5,000. That's a secured appearance bond. You can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. That would be $500. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Williams, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Isaiah Murphy and then Matthew Gutierrez will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Isaiah Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of aggravated DUI because your license was previously suspended or revoked for a DUI. It's a Class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference October 29th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing October 31st, 8:31 a.m. That'll be at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Murphy, I am setting bond in the amount of $2,500. That is a secured appearance bond. You can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $2,500 would be $250. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You will also need to comply with pretrial services supervision, and you will start drug and alcohol testing and monitoring on your first court date. We also have the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. Mr. Murphy, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Matthew Gutierrez and then Kin Wynn will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Matthew Gutierrez.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, you are here on looks like two alleged probation violations. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 30th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. And I have set bond amount of $500 in each of these. Total bond is $1,000. It is secured appearance. You can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. That would be $100. So unless you have anything else keeping you here, then you can pay those bonds. You will be released, and you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates and to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Gutierrez, do you have any questions?
You said October 30th was a non-appearance?
That's your probation hearings, October 30th.
Oh, probation, okay.
Yeah.
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Good luck to you. Ken Nguyen and then Patrick Hitchings will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
My name is Ken Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. You have an arraignment here on October 30th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming the bond in the warrant. It's a $2,500 bond, and it is secured appearance. That means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral, which would be $250. If you pay your bond, Mr. Nguyen, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on the 30th and make all of your other court dates, promising to comply with supervision and with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're not to possess any weapons, and you must submit to DNA testing at the arresting police department. Mr. Nguyen, do you have any questions?
When you say have court?
On October 30th,
Oh, Halloween? Okay. That's
a day before Halloween.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen.
Okay.
You can sit to your left. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome.
Patrick Hitchings and then Michael Ariza will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Patrick Hitchings, December.
Thank you, Mr. Hitchings. Mr. Hitchings, you are here on 2 Superior Court probation violation warrants. These are for alleged violations of terms 4 and 5 in one and 4, 5, and 15 in the other. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing on October 30th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming bond it is in the amount of $500 in each warrant. Total bond would be $1,000. It's a secured appearance bond. That means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company, and they generally require 10% plus collateral. So 10% of $1,000 would be $100. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Hitchings, do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Michael Areza and then Travis Wright will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Michael Ariza.
Thank you, Mr. Ariza. Mr. Ariza, you're here on a Justice Court new case and also on a Pioneer Justice Court warrant, technically an out-of-county warrant because it is from Pinal County.
Okay.
In the Pioneer Justice Court warrant, you're charged with 1 count of assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct, both misdemeanors. You have an arraignment hearing October 25th, so that's just 2 days from now. October 25th, 8:30 a.m. at the Pioneer Justice Court. Mr. Ariza, the judge has asked for a $256 bond, or Ariza, excuse me. What I'd like to do is set what's called an unsecured bond. An unsecured bond means you'll be able to leave here today.
Okay.
You'll be able to leave in about 4 hours to 6 hours. You don't have to pay anything to leave. If you go to court on the 25th, again, it's just 2 days from now. If you go to court on the 25th, then that makes that $256 bond erased. It makes it go away. You don't have to pay a penny of it.
Okay.
Do you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, my wife actually paid that bond this morning already.
Oh, did she already pay it?
Yes.
Okay. Officer Fieselman, is there a note that the bond's been paid?
I don't have anything.
I was told by one of the guards that it might get updated once all this
Okay.
After this session right now that we're having?
Yeah. Well, so, okay. So, Mr. Riza, do you foresee any issue in you going to court on the 25th?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, because I don't have information that says that the bond's been paid. I can switch it to a secured appearance bond, but please understand, if I do that and it hasn't been paid, that means you're going to remain in custody longer.
Yeah, let's just leave it the way it is. I can get out. But didn't
Okay.
I have another bond for?
No. If you go to court on the 25th,
Yeah,
with an unsecured bond, it wipes out the bond.
okay,
So hopefully that means your wife can get that money reimbursed, and then by you showing up on the 25th, it turns to a zero. I mean, it's
okay.
you don't have to
But
pay
if
anything.
it's already paid, regardless, either way, I'm taken care of.
Right. If it's been paid, you're going to be released. I mean, you're going to be released anyway because I'm releasing you on the unsecured bond.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Okay.
he does have a Scottsdale hold.
Oh, does he have a Scottsdale hold?
Yes, and that
Has she
one,
paid that one?
she paid both of them today, sir.
Okay.
I believe it was a total of $756.
Okay.
Yes, I was just gonna bring that up.
All right. Well, again, unless you want me to change it, I'll keep this as an unsecured bond.
For both of them?
No, I can't do anything about Scottsdale.
Okay,
Okay?
Okay.
This is just for this
Okay.
Pioneer Justice Court.
okay.
Okay?
But there was two different cases, right?
Right, there's another case, we'll get to that in a moment, but that's not the Scottsdale case.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So, but before we go to that case, you've promised to go to court, I believe you. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. You're not to have any physical contact with any alleged victims, and you're not to possess any weapons.
Yes, sir.
Now, regarding your new case, Mr. Ariza, I find probable cause. The reason you were arrested on this is for one count of driving with your license suspended, revoked, or canceled, a Class 1 misdemeanor. So you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of this charge. However, you can hire your own attorney if you wish to do so. So in this case, you have an arraignment hearing at the Sandtown Justice Court, November 12th at 9 a.m., and I'm releasing you on your own recognizance in this case. So again, you're going to be leaving, be about 4 to 6 hours, standard conditions and restrictions of release.
Okay.
Mr. Ariza, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Okay. So I will be getting OR today for
You should be leaving, it should be about 4 hours to 6 hours.
Because they did pay the bonds.
Yeah, again, as long as the Scottsdale, as long as they've released the hold, then you should be on your way.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Travis Wright, and then Allison Wilkieson will be on deck.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm
Afternoon.
Travis Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, you're here on 2 Pioneer Justice Court out-of-county warrants. You're also here on a Superior Court direct complaint arrest warrant. Let's start with the Superior Court case. Well, let's start with these 2 Pioneer warrants. One's for extreme DUI, BAC of .15 or more. The other is for just DUI, a Class 1 misdemeanor. In both of these cases, Mr. Wright, you have an arraignment hearing on October 25th, 8:30 a.m. at the Pioneer Justice Court. Judge asked for a $250 bond in each of these cases. What I'd like to do, sir, is set an unsecured bond. So if you were listening to the last gentleman, that means you get released today, just like you're being released to OR. And if you go to court on the 25th, the total bond is $500 between the 2 of them. That gets erased and you don't have to pay any of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's only due if you don't go to court.
I'm definitely going.
Okay. All right. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. So that's what we're going to do then. All the information will be in your paperwork. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to possess or consume any alcohol.
Okay.
Then, Mr. Wright, regarding your direct complaint arrest warrant, you are charged with 1 count of possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. It looks like these charges originally, the alleged offense date is March 19th, 2022. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 7th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing November 12th, 8:31 a.m. It's at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Wright, in this case, I'm going to release you on supervised release. So again, you're going to be leaving. It'll be about 4 hours to 6 hours. You're promising to go to court on all of your court dates, comply with pretrial services supervision, and with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department within 5 days of today's date. Mr. Wright, do you have any questions?
Yeah, where do I get my fingerprints done at?
Oh, at the arresting police department. So whatever agency was that arrested you, reach out to them about, because they may already have your fingerprints. This is just, it's like automatically goes on there with these types of alleged charges, so that's why you just need to reach out to them about
Okay,
them taking your fingerprints.
so I need to do it within 5 days.
Within 5 days, correct.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Wright, any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wright. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Allison Wilkieson and then Caitlin Tatum will be on deck.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Allison D. Wilkieson.
Thank you, Ms. Wilkieson. Ms. Wilkieson, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations, 1 count of possession or use of dangerous drugs, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony.
Okay.
I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference November 7th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing November 12th, 8:31 a.m. That's at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Wilkieson, I reviewed your probation notes. It looks like you've been in really good contact with your
Yes, I
probation
have.
officer. Yeah, and so because of that, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance.
Thank you so much. I
You're
just started
welcome.
a job last week and I didn't want to lose my job.
No, I understand. No, and thank you for, again, for staying in touch with your probation
Yeah.
officer and doing the things you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
So that's what's getting you out.
Oh, awesome.
So anyway, so you're going to leave about 4 hours to 6 hours
Okay.
from now. You're promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
Okay.
Great. And then, Ms. Wilkieson, because of the arrest, you have an alleged Term 1 violation. So I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 30th, 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
That's also at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm also releasing you on your own recognizance in
Thank
this
you
case.
so much.
You're welcome. Same conditions and restrictions. of
Okay.
release. Ms. Wilkieson, do you have any questions?
No. Oh, I do. So it shows on there, like on my paperwork that I have a hold in like Gilbert and Glendale, which I'm kind of confused about the Glendale one, because when I was in rehab, my case manager messaged Glendale and they said that they like just dropped it or that they gave me time served or whatever. So I don't understand why I have a hold or why I have a warrant in Glendale. And
Yeah.
then the Gilbert one I'm kind of confused about as well.
Okay. Officers, are you seeing the hold? Yes. For Gilbert and Glendale?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so Ms. Wilkieson, so we're not, I mean, they have their own
You have
separate
no-
jurisdiction.
okay.
Yeah, we're not connected to them in that way.
I know
So-
they're misdemeanors, so.
Yeah, does it say what the amounts are?
$1,000 for Gilbert and $750 for Glendale.
Okay.
So you can either pay those or they'll transport you there.
Okay.
So unfortunately then, it won't be 4 to 6 hours unless those are paid. I don't have any ability to change
Yeah,
those.
no, I understand that. And so do I just wait here until one of them possibly comes and gets me? Is that how it works? Okay, 24 hours that they have to come get me? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope,
Thank you, Ms. Wilkieson. Good luck to
Thank
you.
you.
Good luck at the new job.
thank you.
You're welcome. Caitlin Tatum. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth? Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Caitlin Tatum.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Tatum. Ms. Tatum, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations. 1 count of possession or use of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. 1 count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. Your case will be heard at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. You have a status conference November 7th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing November 12th, 8:31 a.m. Ms. Tatum, I am going to release you on your own recognizance, so you are going to leave here in approximately 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department within 5 days of today's date. Ms. Tatum, do you have any questions? All right. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.